I'm Jenny, and joining me as always is Ezra. Today we're tackling something that trips up almost every Korean learner.
Oh no, that sounds ominous. What are we getting into today, Jenny?
We're mastering Korean responses. Yes, no, and hey. And trust me, Ezra, by the end of this lesson, you'll understand why the simple word for yes in Korean is actually one of the most powerful tools in your communication toolkit.
Wait, how can yes be complicated? It's just yes, right?
That's exactly what most learners think, and that's exactly why they sound awkward in real Korean conversations. Stick with me through the cultural note at the end, because that's the part most learners get completely wrong.
Okay, now I'm genuinely curious.
Perfect. And if you're new here watching this and want a steady stream of lessons like this one, subscribe to Langmitra. We ship one a week. Now, before we dive in, let's quickly connect this to what you already know. In our previous lessons, we covered basic greetings and introductions. Remember how we talked about the importance of politeness levels in Korean?
Right, the whole formal versus informal thing. Korean really cares about showing respect through language.
Exactly. And today's lesson builds directly on that foundation. The words we're learning today are all in the polite form, which means you can use them safely with anyone you meet. All right, let's jump into our first major concept. On screen now, you'll see our first word. 네.
네? That looks simple enough.
It does look simple, and it sounds simple too. 네. But here's where it gets interesting. This tiny word does so much heavy lifting in Korean conversations. Let me break it down. First meaning. Yes. If someone asks you a question and the answer is affirmative, you say 네. Second meaning. I understand. Third meaning. I'm listening. Fourth meaning. Go ahead. Fifth meaning. Okay or all right. Wait, one word means all of that? One word, 5 functions, and honestly, there are even more. This is what I call the listener nod. You know how in English, when someone's talking to you, you might nod your head or say, uh-huh, or mm-hmm, to show you're paying attention? Oh yeah, I do that all the time. In Korean, 네 is the verbal equivalent of that nod. You'll hear Koreans say it constantly during conversations. 네? 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 It doesn't mean they're agreeing with everything. It means they're engaged, they're following along, they're present in the conversation. That's actually really helpful to know. So if I'm on the phone with someone Korean and they keep saying 네, they're not necessarily saying yes to something. Exactly right. They're saying, I hear you. Keep going. Now, Ezra, let's practice the pronunciation. Can you try saying 네 for me? 네? Good start, but let me give you a small adjustment. The sound is a bit softer, almost like it's between an N and a soft D sound. Your tongue should tap very lightly behind your teeth. Try it again. 네, 네. Much better. That was cleaner. Now, let's look at the opposite. When you need to say no, the polite form is 아니요. You can see it on screen now. 아니요. Let me say it slowly. 아니요. The stress is pretty even across all 3 syllables, but there's a slight lift on the yul at the end. That yul ending is what makes it polite. Try it, Ezra.
아니요.
Good attempt. Just make sure the at the beginning is nice and open, like you're at the dentist saying 아니요.
아니요.
Perfect. That was really clear. Now, there's also a casual form, 아니, but for now, stick with 아니요 because it's safe to use in any situation.
Got it. So 네 for yes and 아니요 for no. That seems manageable.
Here's where it gets tricky though, and this is where the cultural note I mentioned comes in. In Korean, when you answer a negative question, you answer based on the facts, not based on whether you agree with the question.
Okay, Jenny, you're gonna have to explain that one.
All right, let's use an example. Imagine someone asks you in English, you don't like coffee? And let's say you actually do like coffee. What would you say in English?
I'd say, no, I do like coffee. Wait, or would I say yes? Actually, that is kind of confusing even in English.
Right. English is inconsistent about this, but Korean has a clear system. In Korean, if someone asks, 커피 안 좋아해요? Which means you don't like coffee, and you do like coffee, you would say 아니요 좋아해요. No, I like it. You're negating their negative statement.
Oh, so I'm saying no to the negative part of their question?
Exactly. You're saying no, that negative assumption is incorrect. I do like it. But if you don't like coffee, confirming their negative question, you'd say 네, 안 좋아해요. Yes, your negative assumption is correct. I don't like it.
Whoa, that's like the opposite of what I'd instinctively say.
And that's exactly why this trips people up. Let me give you a simple rule to remember. In Korean, 네 confirms the question as asked. 아니요 contradicts it. Whatever the question assumes, your answer either confirms or denies that assumption.
So if someone says you didn't eat and I actually did eat, I say 아니요 because I'm saying no, that's not true.
You've got it, Ezra. That's exactly right. Now, let's reinforce what we've learned before moving on. Let's do a quick practice round. I'll ask you something and you respond. Ready?
Let's do it.
Someone offers you more food. You're full but want to politely decline. What do you say?
아니요.
Good. And if someone asks if you understand what they just explained and you do understand?
네.
Perfect. Now imagine you're on the phone and someone is giving you directions. You want to show you're following along. What would you sprinkle into the conversation?
Oh, I'd use 네 as the listener nod thing. 네, 네.
Excellent. You're getting this. Now let's do a quick role play. Pretend I'm a Korean friend and I'm telling you about my weekend. Just respond naturally with 네 to show you're listening.
Okay, I'll try.
So on Saturday, I went to Hongdae and there were so many people.
네.
I found this amazing cafe with really good cheesecake.
네네.
And I stayed there for like 3 hours just reading.
네.
See how natural that felt? You weren't agreeing that I should stay 3 hours or that cheesecake is amazing. You were just showing engagement.
Yeah, it actually felt more natural than I expected. Kind of like verbal nodding, just like you said.
If this is helping you so far, a quick thumbs up sends it to more learners. All right, now let's move into our second big topic, getting someone's attention politely. This is pure survival Korean, Ezra. You're going to use these phrases constantly.
Oh, this is practical. I've always wondered how to flag down a server or get someone's attention without being rude.
Perfect. So we have 3 main phrases depending on the situation. Let me put them on screen. First one, 저기요. This is your all-purpose excuse me for getting attention.
저기요?
Almost. It's 저기요. The ta sounds like 자, short and crisp. 저기요. Try it.
저기요?
Nice. That was solid. Now, literally, this word means over there, but when you use it to call someone, it's like saying, hey there, or excuse me. You can use it to get a stranger's attention on the street, call a taxi, or get a shop clerk's attention.
So it's pretty versatile.
Very versatile. Now, here's a pro tip. In restaurants specifically, there's an even better option. 여기요.
Oh, that sounds similar. 여기요?
Yes, 여기요. This one literally means here or over here. So when you're sitting at a table and you want the server, you're essentially saying, here, over here, come to me. Can you try that one?
여기요.
Good. Just make the 여 a little rounder. Your lips should be slightly forward. 여기요.
여기요.
That's it. Really good improvement. Now there's a third phrase that's more formal. 실례합니다.
Okay, that one looks longer. 실례합니다.
Close. Let me break it down. 실례합니다. 실례합니다. This is the formal excuse me, similar to pardon me in English. You'd use this when you need to interrupt someone, pass by someone in a tight space, or approach someone you need to ask directions from.
So it's more respectful than 저기요?
Exactly. It's about acknowledging that you're causing a small inconvenience. 실례 literally means rudeness, so 실례합니다 is like saying I'm being rude or excuse my rudeness. Try the full phrase, Ezra.
실례합니다.
Good effort. The tricky part is the 합니다 at the end. Make sure you're clearly pronouncing the M sound. 합니다, not 하니다. Try once more.
실례합니다.
Much cleaner. See how different that sounds from your first try? You're really getting the hang of these endings.
Thanks, Jenny. So to recap, 저기요 for general attention, 여기요 in restaurants, and 실례합니다 for formal situations.
You've got it perfectly organized in your head. All three of these phrases live in Langmitra's vocabulary section if you want to drill them after the lesson. Now, let me share something culturally important. In Korea, getting someone's attention, especially a server's, is expected to be direct. You might raise your hand and call out 여기요, and that's completely normal. It's not rude like it might feel in some Western countries.
Really? Because where I'm from, yelling across a restaurant would feel kind of awkward.
And this is a huge adjustment for many learners. In Korea, servers are often very busy, and the expectation is that you'll actively call them. They're not constantly checking on your table like in American restaurants. You need to summon them when you're ready.
That actually makes sense. It's more efficient in a way.
It is. And here's another cultural layer. In Korea, there's a deep emphasis on not burdening others. The phrase 실례합니다 reflects this. By saying, excuse my rudeness, you're acknowledging that you're taking someone's time or interrupting their space. It shows awareness and consideration.
That's really thoughtful, actually. It's like preemptively apologizing for the inconvenience.
Exactly. And this connects back to 네 as well. When you use 네 as a listener nod, you're showing the speaker that they matter, that you're present and engaged. Korean communication places huge value on this kind of active listening.
It's interesting how much these small words reveal about the culture.
That's the beauty of language learning, Ezra. You're not just learning words, you're learning a whole way of thinking about human interaction. Now, if you've made it this far, here's a bonus for you. There's one more phrase that's incredibly useful for expressing reassurance. 괜찮아요.
Oh, I think I've heard this one in K-dramas. 괜찮아요.
Yes, 괜찮아요. This means it's okay, or I'm fine, or no worries. You can use it to reassure someone, to politely decline an offer, or to say you're all right.
So if someone bumps into me and apologizes, I could say 괜찮아요.
Exactly right. Or if a server asks if you need anything else and you're good, 괜찮아요. It's one of those Swiss Army knife phrases. Let me hear you say it.
괜찮아요.
The ken at the beginning is the tricky part. It's like Gwen, but the G is very soft, almost like it's between a G and a K. Try to make it a little lighter.
괜찮아요.
Better. Getting the sound right is important because ken appears in several common words. You'll thank yourself later for mastering it now.
괜찮아요.
That's the one. Really natural sounding. All right, let's do our final practice round. I want you to demonstrate everything we've covered. Ready for a rapid review?
Let's do it.
How do you say yes?
네.
How do you say no politely?
아니요.
You're at a restaurant and need the server.
여기요.
You need to ask a stranger for directions.
저기요. Or, if I want to be more formal, 실례합니다.
Excellent distinction. Someone apologizes for a small mistake.
괜찮아요.
Now, the tricky one. Someone asks, you didn't study Korean before, but actually you did study before. What do you say?
Okay, so they're assuming I didn't study, but I did. So I'm contradicting their negative assumption. So, 아니요, I did study.
Perfect, Ezra. You nailed the logic. Compare how confused you looked at the beginning when I first explained that versus how confidently you just answered. That's real progress.
Honestly, since I started learning with Langmitra, these patterns are starting to click faster.
Language learning is cumulative. Every lesson makes the next one easier. Now, let's put this all together in one final scenario. Imagine you're at a Korean restaurant. You walk in, a staff member greets you. You want to get seated. What might you say to get their attention?
저기요?
Good. They seat you and hand you a menu. They explain the specials quickly. You want to show you're following along.
네.
They ask if you want water. You do.
네.
After eating, they ask if you want dessert. You're full.
아니요, 괜찮아요.
Beautiful combination. You declined politely and reassured them it's all good. You just had a natural Korean interaction, Ezra.
That felt pretty good, actually. Like I could actually survive a real situation.
That's exactly the point. These aren't just vocabulary words. These are survival tools. You can walk into any Korean restaurant, store, or situation and communicate the basics respectfully.
And if today's listener nod concept surprised you, drop it in the comments and share this with someone you know learning Korean.
I'm definitely going to practice the negative question thing. That one still feels a bit counterintuitive.
It will for a while, and that's completely normal. Every learner goes through that adjustment period. The key is practice. Try catching yourself when you're about to respond to negative questions in English, and think about how you'd answer in Korean.
That's a good mental exercise.
Speaking of practice, your homework this week is simple. Every time you catch yourself saying yes or no in English, pause and think of 네 or 아니요. Start building that mental muscle.
I can do that.
And in our next episode, we're going to build on this foundation. We'll be learning how to make simple requests and ask for things politely. Things like, please give me this, can I have that, and how much is it? Shopping and ordering are about to get much easier.
Oh, that sounds super practical. I definitely need those for everyday situations.
It's going to be a great one. All right, Ezra, you did amazing today. From the listener nod to navigating tricky negative questions to getting attention politely, you've added some serious tools to your Korean toolkit.
Thanks, Jenny. This was genuinely one of those lessons where I feel like I learned things I'll actually use immediately.
That's the goal. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. You're on the right path. Keep practicing, keep showing up, and these phrases will become second nature before you know it.
Can't wait for the next one.
Neither can I. Until then, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Before we recap, one quick ask. What worked for you in this lesson? What felt hard? And what topic should we teach next? Drop it in the comments. Your feedback shapes what we build next.
One language sets you in a corridor for life. Learn language with podcast. Subscribe.